statistical chart is a table like this one, which presents data about something. Usually the topic of this chart or this table is given above, like here. It says that this chart presents the variations in child labor rates in 3 different areas. So we have here the number of working children, and here the countries or the areas where we have these working children, and over here we have 2 periods of times. We have the 2008 and 2012. Okay, usually at the end of this prompt you have a question, like here it says what is the number of working children in 3 areas and what do you conclude. Okay, now let's know how to interpret a statistical chart, how to write the answer to such a question. First of all, we start with the introduction. In the introduction, we usually include the topic sentence on the title. This topic sentence is given already, as we said before, in the prompt. Like in the previous chart, we said the number or the variations in child labor in 3 different countries. After I write the topic, I move to the analysis. Here, I have to analyze the chart. What do you mean by analyze the chart? I have to mention what is the greatest number, where do we have it, in which year was the greatest number, what is the least one, and we give examples from the chart. Finally, we have a sentence which is the conclusion, and in this sentence we write what we deduce, what we conclude based on the information that is presented in the chart. Here, it's recommended that we do not include any background information. Now, what are some keywords that would help me when I answer a question about how to interpret a statistical chart? We have some words like like increase, decrease, more than, less than, whereas, but, the same, highest, lowest. So we have some transition signals that are usually used to compare or contrast between 2 numbers, 2 percentages, whatever. Now, let's try to practice together on this question. We have the question that says, the graph below shows the existence of significant inequality in the time dedicated to parental care by gender for 2 periods in the past decade, 2002 and 2003, 2009 and 2010 in Spain. So, what do I have till now? I have the topic of the chart, which is the inequality in the time dedicated to parental care by gender. Gender here means the fathers and the mothers. The fathers and the mothers usually take care of their children. Here in this table we have inequality, which means the two are not spending the same time in parental care. This statistic was done over 2 different periods of time, 2002, 2003, 2009, 2010 in Spain. Now, what are we supposed to do? The question says, read the chart carefully, then answer the question. What is the question? What does the graph show about inequality in the time dedicated to parental care by gender for the 2 given periods? So what should I do? I have to go to the chart. I examine it carefully. As we mentioned before, we have here the topic. What is the topic? The weekly hours of parental care average by sex, by gender, and survey. So this is statistic. It was in Spain over 2 different periods of time. You have the date here. Okay. We have usually 2 different colors to present 2 different things. We have here the red color or the purple color for mothers. The blue one represents the father's weekly hours dedicated for parental care. So I knew the topic, number 1, which is the introduction. Second, I have to analyze the data given. Look, how much do I have here? This is the weekly hours given by mothers to take care of their children. It is, or it's almost about 12 hours per week. Okay? What about, this was in the year 2002, 2003. Look here, did this number increase? Yeah, it increased a bit. What about the father's role in taking care of children? It was almost 5 here, almost 5 between 2002 and 2003, and it grew up here. So this means that there is improvement, or there are more hours of fathers being involved in parental care. Now, how do I write the answer to this graph? I say the graph shows the existence of significant inequality in the time dedicated to parental care by gender for two periods in the past decade, 2002-2003 and 2009-2010. What do I call this sentence? This is the topic. It's the introductory statement in my answer in the paragraph I write to interpret the table. Then I have to do the analysis. What do I say in the analysis? I say the graph shows that between, as we saw together, 2002 and 2003, Spanish mothers' participation in parental care was 12 hours per week, and it increased to 12.5 hours in the years 2009-2010. But what about the fathers? Whereas fathers increased their participation in parental care from 5.5 during 2002-2003 to 7 hours per week during 2009-2010. This is the body of my paragraph, which includes analysis of the numbers, the percentages, the hours here given for parental care. What is missing in my answer? We still need the conclusion. Usually, we recommend that you start your closing sentence with a transitional signal that shows conclusion, like hence, thus, as a result, therefore. What do I conclude? That the graph reveals a trend towards greater equality in the time dedicated to parental care by gender. Now here you have a different graph. I would like you to look at it carefully. The topic, as we mentioned, is given above. It's about artificial intelligence revenue. We have different years here, as you can see down on the bottom. You can see, of course, that the number of revenues in $1 million is increasing. And here you have another graph, another table, another chart. This table represents the claims of two issues: domestic violence claims and sexual assault claims. The purple color here represents domestic violence claims. Okay, so here we have the number of claims, and the purple stands for domestic violence claims. The blue color next to it stands for the sexual assault claims. I need you to look carefully, and you have to analyze one of these two charts and write a short paragraph explaining, analyzing the chart. As we mentioned, I will repeat, you start with the introduction, which includes the topic given at the top. Then you have to analyze, giving examples. You have to refer to the numbers and the dates below. And finally, you start your conclusion with hence, thus, as a result, and you tell me what do you conclude from this chart. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.